Welcome to episode 13 of the B Movie Club. I'm your host, Kevin. Um, I posted on Facebook earlier this week that we're trying out a new camera and a new editing program, and we were able to get that new opening sequence going. So I hope you like that. Please send in your comments on how that one's treating you, and we're going to start every episode that way. So I hope you like it. Um, as you know, the B Movie Club, we talk about movies that have come out within the last 40 years, give or take. They don't necessarily have to be B movies, but we're looking for cult favorites, um, movies that maybe are forgotten classics, things that maybe we grew up watching that we've enjoyed but really haven't thought about or talked about lately. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please send them in. Lately, I've been getting a lot of new ideas. Somebody suggested Tremors. Somebody suggested Point Break. I've added both of those to my Netflix queue. What I'm trying to do is pick movies that are going to be available to stream instantly. So those people who don't have a video store right around the corner um, can still go to their computer or use their Wii or their Xbox or whatever and watch these movies streaming live. So this week we're going to be doing the 1984 classic The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. One of my favorite movies from way back when. It's kind of hard to describe what this movie is. I mean, it's kind of an action movie. It's kind of a comedy. It's got a little science fiction in it. Um, Buckaroo Banzai is a neurosurgeon, rocket scientist, race car driver, uh, rock star, cowboy, samurai, all rolled into one. Uh, he leads the Banzai Institute for Biomedical Engineering and Strategic Information. Is also the lead singer of the Hong Kong Cavaliers, which is his gang of musicians, scientists. Uh, it starts off with him. He has recently, using his experimental oscillation overthruster in his rocket car, has driven through a mountain, has figured out a way to go through solid matter, and discovers that there are aliens called lectroids who have been imprisoned in that solid matter. It's called the Eighth Dimension, kind of like the way the bad guys in Superman were sentenced to eternity in the Phantom Zone. These aliens were basically sentenced to live in the Eighth Dimension as punishment because they were so evil. Um, so by virtue of him going through solid matter, he has basically opened up the door so that these aliens are out and about, basically. So they're running around. The thing about these aliens, these electroids, is that they emit some sort of pheromone or something that makes them look like everybody else. So it's hard to tell who are the aliens. So if you see them, they really look they're kind of like lizard creatures. Anyway, so the leader of the lizard creatures is Dr. Emilio Lizardo, who was possessed. He's really a scientist from Italy, but he was possessed by the leader of the evil aliens, like 40 years ago or 50 years ago or whatever. So they're trying to basically do their bad things, take over the world. But meanwhile, the good aliens, who are also electroids from Planet 10, are circling the Earth, orbiting it, and they're basically like, if Buckaroo Banzai, if you cannot get rid of the evil aliens. We're gonna blow up Russia, and Russia will think it's from you, and they'll nuke you, and the world will be destroyed, basically. So you got to handle it by midnight tomorrow, or we'll destroy the earth. Um, so you have that. Also, Buckaroo has found the twin sister, the long lost twin sister of his deceased wife, who was the princess of Netherlands. So there you go. There's a lot of levels to what's going on in this plot. I don't want to spoil everything for you, but needless to say, there is a lot going on. Buckaroo Banzai was played by Peter Weller, who was also in RoboCop and a few other movies. The cast also includes Jeff Goldblum plays Buckaroo's friend Sydney, who is a brain surgeon and has also just recently joined the Banzai Institute. Ellen Barkin plays the long lost twin sister of Buckaroo's dead wife, Penny. Uh, got Christopher Lloyd, who is one of the main evil aliens. John Lithgow is the leader of the evil aliens. The list goes on and on. I mean, it's really on Facebook. I posted that just by looking at the trailer, you can see it is totally bizarre but hilarious. It is again comedy, action. It is campy as all get out. I know some people complained that it felt like they flipped to the middle of a book. So there's basically they take for granted that you know who a lot of these characters are already. That you're familiar with the fact that Buckaroo Banzai is this famous hero that everybody knows about. And if you watch the commentary on the DVD, they actually go to great pains to let you think that this is actually a docudrama based upon real events. So there you go. There's a lot to this. It's bizarre. It's hilarious. You really have to just sit down and just say, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm just going to have fun. I'm not going to think too much about it. But like I said, it has a huge cult following. Uh, at the end of the movie, they predict an upcoming sequel, Buckaroo Banzai versus the World Crime League. Sadly, that sequel has yet to be made, and it's been over 25 years, so we may be waiting a while. Uh, there was a TV show, a pilot that was made for Buckaroo Banzai TV show that was never picked up. So that's a great tragedy, obviously. Uh, and over the last 10 years, um, there have been a number of comic books that have been released in graphic novels talking about other adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. If you're at your computer, which I know you are if you're watching this, you can go to www.banzaiinstitute.com and they will tell you about the latest adventures, what's going on with Buckaroo Banzai and the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Uh, the level of detail in this to make it appear like it's, again, like a documentary of real events is really quite frightening, considering this movie was basically a box office bomb. Any of these movies that came out during that time that you couldn't easily pigeonhole, I think these studios were just like, hey, we don't know how to sell this movie, and they just put it out there and hope for the best. And sadly, it didn't do very well. Again, it's a huge cult film now. So if you have not seen it, it is streaming instantly right now on Netflix. Rush out, do what you got to do, watch it. It gets my highest mark. Um, I had to discuss it because this is the 13th episode. It's my lucky number 13. So if you know me, you've heard me discuss it many times. I've got my Buckaroo Banzai t-shirt upstairs. I'm an unofficial member of the Banzai Institute. So there you go. Um, again, don't be put off by how peculiar it is, or try not to be. Um, it's a good one. It's a classic. Rotten Tomatoes actually gave it a 71% fresh. So there you go. That's basically an A plus where I come from. So next week we are going to be doing a little known which basically plays into the whole hysteria about Halley's Comet that was coming around about that time or soon after that. If you thought Y2K, there was a lot of fear, or 2012, people were very concerned about it. Let me tell you, there was a lot of hysteria about Halley's Comet as well. So we'll talk about that next week. It is also streaming instantly on Netflix. So right after you watch Buckaroo Banzai, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click over and check out Night of the Comet. Send me any questions or comments, your favorite quotes for these movies, favorite scenes, and I will talk about them on the show. You can reach me at KD9575 on Twitter. You can comment on my homepage on YouTube, or I'm on Facebook. Again, send me any suggestions for future episodes. Whenever I get new ideas, I put them in my Netflix queue, and as soon as they're streaming, I'm going to talk about them. So you have that to look forward to. Favorite quote. There's a lot of winners in this, let me tell you. But if I had to pick one, right after the good aliens, they shock Buckaroo Banzai in order to make him able to see the evil aliens.